Hey, I just got home and I'm taking JD out, so I'm gonna look like a crazy person on my block, walking around with the camera right in front of me, talking. But I haven't done a vlog in a while, so I'm just gonna let you guys know what's going on. I fought in Suphanburi recently. Today is Sunday, and I fought like last Friday, so it's been over a week, but I didn't get stitches on this cut. I just let it heal with tape and glue and stuff like that. I had Karuhat, who was in my corner, tape it for me after the fight. I really like that he's got this like, oh yeah, you don't need to stitch that attitude about anything. So I rematched Mung Ju, who I fought a few times, and it was actually a really, really close fight. But I was super bummed to lose it. I just didn't quite do the right things in rounds 3 and 4. I was really dominant in round 5, and actually rounds 1 and 2, which aren't scoring rounds. I was working on my Southpaw, which Karuhat has taught me. That was his idea, and I've been working on it a lot. And so it was really cool to have him in my corner, the guy who's instrumental in this change, as my corner man. So that was really cool. And unfortunate to lose, so that sucked. But so I was kind of in this like super bad mood off of that, just because I hadn't fought in a really long time because I'd been sick, and then coming back to the ring and kind of having all these expectations about how I should have done because I fought her before and feeling really good and having really good first rounds. It just kind of was a huge letdown, and I let myself spiral down really bad. And I actually just put myself in a really bad place mentally. So I've kind of been digging myself out of that hole for the last like week, I guess. God. So I've been kind of like indulging myself in these really shitty mental holes, and they're basically just patterns, so like thought patterns that I let myself get into, and they're not actually attached to anything. So I'll find reasons why I'm feeling like that, but I just actually want to feel like that because water is going into those grooves that I've worn in for years and years. So, oh no, today's not Sunday, it's Saturday. But so today, I went to the gym and I was really frustrated for a while because my training partners always outgrow me, like literally outgrow me. And so while I have like a really good training partner for maybe 6 months, then they'll literally be bigger and they're already stronger and better and things like that. So they become really not good training partners for me. I'm gonna show you JD's sister sprawling around as she do. What are you doing? So I was really frustrated because I was working with this kid Team, who was a really good partner for me for a while, and now he's outgrown me. And it's working with people who are too big and too good. It was just teaching me really bad habits. So I was seeing these really bad habits that I'm doing in training because my training partners are too good and too big. I was seeing those habits come into the fight, into lots of my fights. And talking to Karuhat on the way home, because we were driving with him, which we've never done before, I was telling him about my situation at the gym, and he's like, that's not good, Sylvie. He's like, you have to have people better than you, and you have to have people smaller than you, and you have to go with both, because when you go with people who are smaller or not as good, that's when you work on things that you can be really confident in. That's when you get to really experiment. You just learn these like defensive, tense, trying to make it through when everyone is bigger and better than you. So there's a new kid at the gym, and he's actually pretty good, but definitely not experienced. And so I've been clinching and sparring with him for the past 4 days. It took a little while for me to start working with him because this hadn't closed up all the way. But it's really, really good. And I've been working with Ni Shobo on his group mental training. And this week is week 8, and we're working on like tracking our emotions, which has made me aware of how often I feel the same things over and over again in a pattern. But for the past like 4 or 5 days, like everything was really negative. I was in a funk, and Kevin was pointing it out to me. He's like, God, you're in a shit mood. And I think that just by tracking it, I got really sick of having those emotions over and over again. And my training has gotten better as I've started to like let go of that stuff. And then My sparring with this kid has been really good because we're actually the same size, but I'm more experienced than he is, so I can experiment with things. And today we did just boxing sparring, and I had to wear headgear to protect this, and I haven't worn headgear in a really long time, and I hated it. I hated it. But I did a lot of really cool, fun things, and both Kevin and Sifu have been telling me that I should take a boxing fight to get my hands better, to like get confidence in my hands, because my punches are good, I just don't know when to use them, is what Sifu says. So it's fun to do just boxing sparring with him, and I was doing different things in the clinch than what I have been doing with team, because team is so good and bigger. So because of those two things, I kind of was clamping down and getting in a lock and not really able to move, which is something that I did in my fight that did not help me. But today I was just moving with this new kid, and I kind of took his heart a little bit, but that's good. It'll make him better to be working with me, so we can get better together. His name is Beep, like Beep Beep, which I find awesome. So yeah, so that's what's going on with me. And I was bummed because I didn't fight for a really long time. And then when I got back in the ring, I lost. But then all these fights just kind of came together. So if all of my fights come through in September, I'll be at 196 by the end of September, which is really exciting. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys sooner rather than later because I need to be doing these more often. And thanks for listening to me blather for this long. I'll talk to you later.